Okay, so I'm going to do a quick demonstration here on how to receive items. So assuming we have a purchase order that's been placed and our vendor has shipped that purchase order to us, we physically have it in hand, and we're getting ready to, maybe we have the packing slip that the vendor put in there, and we've got the purchase, hopefully they've referenced our purchase order number. That's great. If they have referenced our purchase order number, we can type it in this box here. I don't have one handy, so I'm going to say, you know what, I don't know what the purchase order number is. This particular vendor is called Keen. I didn't, for whatever reason, they didn't reference that. So I don't know what PO number we're going to be working on. So I just pull up the supplier and hit tab here, and it brings up those PO numbers. So if I did have the PO number, I could just type in 140972. And okay, that's a nice error. But what we'll do is we can actually clear all. 140972 is what we want to pull up. Let's just cancel. 140972. There we go. That's cool. And see, it says, hey, let's switch to that supplier. Okay, that sounds good. And it actually just checked it off too as the one that we want to receive. So we've got we've got all the information we need. We just need to receive it now. Hit OK, and it'll bring up all the items that are to be received on this particular PO. You can sort these items by local SKU, or you can sort them by name by using these little drop downs here, if you'd like to. Sometimes it's nice to be able to, if you have the supplier SKUs, input it in there, like we don't here. We're just copied over the local to the supplier. If you have the supplier SKUs in there and the vendor sorts by supplier SKU, then you can do the same thing, and it would match up really close to the paperwork you're using to their packing slip paperwork, essentially. So you can go, right down the list and match them up really easy. So there's two ways to do this. You can click on each one as you check them in, which is probably what I would recommend. Or if you want to just go crazy and hit receive all, you can do that too. But you want to make sure that you got all these things and review them however you want to, whether you want to check them off on the packing slip and then come to this area, or if you just want to if you just have a couple boxes, you can look at the individual boxes and click on them, the individual physical boxes that you've received of say shoes and these boots here or whatever, right? So that's really it. And then when you're done, you hit post data. It'll print out a report in the printer saying on what you received. You can staple that to the pick slip or the packing slip from the vendor that you have in your hand already, and you turn that into your bookkeeper or your operations manager, and they can reconcile that later. That's really all there is. Now, if you want to go a step further and you guys are using this to print labels for pricing for your brick and mortar store, or even just for reference, and you want to print your own labels to put on the inventory, you can click this button here, and if you have this will print all of them, or you could just print some right here. And when you hit post data, it's going to receive everything, and then also it'll print out some labels for each individual item, so you can sticker each one of them. For in-store sales, this is great, then you don't have to run around and price everything. It'll already be priced or have a reference price on it, regardless of if you want to put it on sale or whatever else later. You'll just have like the, essentially the highest reference price on the item. And you can also put any other information on each box, like maybe a little branding. You could put, the website name or whatever else on that tag as well. Okay, so that's about it here. Once you've done that, the next step is, okay, do we want to discard the received information? Yes. And once that's done, once you've done that, then you can go to, so we've got invoices, and you just go here, and once something has been received, which we don't have anything in this particular system that has been received, then you would have, it will actually bring up some POs you could work on right here. You can click on it, and then it will give you all the items that you'll need to match up to the invoice. It's really straightforward. Once there's some more data in here, I can go over that with you. But that's essentially that's all you do. Once it's been invoiced, then you can pay the bill, and you know that the vendor has sent you an invoice that matches their packing slip and matches the information that we've actually received all these items properly. So we're only paying for things we received, and there's a checks and balances system in place.